Привет, меня зовут Blink. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel again. Last time I have made a video about speaking Portuguese, but of course my Portuguese really sucks. So this time I'm going to talk about something I had experience about and also I have learned, which is in 2010 I had the chance to visit Russia. Я привез Москве, Санкт-Петербург, Уфа, Kazan и Novosibirsk. Я понимаю русский. But when I visited Russia, actually I didn't know any Russian. I studied Russian in 2014 for 2 semesters in my master program. It was amazing. But of course, Russian is so difficult, so I won't say I really speak that language, but right now at least I could somehow speak the daily phrases. Как дела? Хорошо? Я китайский. Где здесь туалет? Да. Идите прямо, а потом налево. Yeah, and also a lot of bad words in Russian. I'm not going to demonstrate it here, of course. So because my Russian is actually not that good in this video, the key point will fall into my culture shock stories. It was amazing. I have to say I love Russia, and also my favorite city in Russia is Novosibirsk. So the culture shock started before I arrived in Russia actually. In the summer of 2010, I took the plane alone from Beijing. It was a direct flight to Novosibirsk. And during the flight, the air hostess couldn't really speak Chinese or English. Or maybe their Chinese and English I couldn't understand at the time. So it created a big problem for me in ordering food or some drinks. But of course, I have learned a couple of words from my friends before. So when the air hostess went to me with a bunch of drinks, the only word I could record at that time was sok tomat, which means tomato juice. Of course, in the whole flight, the only thing I could order was tomato juice, and it was really sucking because I hate tomato juice. I hate it. And another funny thing was when the plane was landing at Novosibirsk at the airport, the people were starting to clap. So I was looking around and thought about should I clap with them or I just sit there. This is really something typical Russian. And after I went out of the airport, I saw my friends were standing there welcoming me with such a huge bread, this typical Russian bread, and in the middle of the top were some salt inside. This is a traditional way of welcoming guests, and from then on, my amazing Russian journey started. Maybe some of you guys would know that the girls in Russia usually wear high heels. I mean high heels, which means at least 10 to 15 centimeters. And very thin heel as well. But with such heels, they could still walk like I'm in sneakers. For me, this is somehow like acrobatic techniques. Really, really amazing. You saw them running on the hills and walking on the grass, and of course, walking with the people with such heels, you have to be very, very careful. A couple of times I get stepped on such heels, and it was like, ugh. Most of the people I met in Russia were amazing, hospitable, and they were very friendly to me. And I remember there was one time I was standing with a friend of mine, a Russian girl, with a poker card in their hand, and asked me, "Do you want to see some Russian magic?" When I was staying with the family of one of my friends, which is a very local Russian family, the parents couldn't speak any English, but every day they would prepare a lot of food for me, and the first thing when I went home, they would ask, "Would you like to eat? Would you like to drink?" Stuff like that. And there was one time, as far as I remember, my friend was out to buy something or I don't know, I couldn't remember. But then suddenly, the father went to me and showed me the huge photo book from the family. So all kinds of old pictures when he was young, while my friend was still a baby and so on. And for me, this is really warm and quite nice. Oh, this is a fierce experience. I was visiting some of the summer camps, children's summer camps around Novosibirsk. And there was one camp I was visiting. I thought it was a military camp, I guess. So a lot of children were there, about maybe 5-year-old to 12, so this age range. And they all dressed in uniforms. It might be something like military drill or something. And there was one boy, about 7 years old, I thought. He showed me how to build an AK-47 within 1 minute without seeing it. So he had his eyes covered and built a gun just like so. Wow, I was totally shocked. Firstly, it was the first time I saw the real AK-47 in front of me. And these kids built it with the eyes covered within 1 minute. And at the time I was thinking like, oh my god. And the next shock is the trains. Normally in Russia you have a train ticket, you have your name on it. So at that time I was taking the Trans-Siberian train with my friends from Novosibirsk to Ufa. Siberia is basically very flat landscape, forests everywhere, and you were sitting in a train outside a forest. And then you slept. Maybe after 6 hours you woke up. Outside they look exactly the same. So still forest. So it's like you didn't even know where you were, you know? This is amazing. And another funny thing is we were in a sleeping wagon, and in the Russian trains, I don't know if they look still the same right now, but at that time it looks like this. So as you can see, if you take the second bed, you have no security guards or fans or something on the bed. So it means if you don't sleep quietly, don't move too much, you have the danger to fall off the bed. But of course, if you're a coward like me, you can ask the conductor to get such a thing to protect you. Okay, so much for my Russian stories. And if you want me to talk about my Russian experience, I could talk hours about it. But of course, in the video, this is not possible. And I have to say, I really miss Russia and my friends. I hope I can visit you guys very soon. When I have time, I promise I will keep on practicing my Russian, and hopefully next time when I meet with you guys, I can somehow speak Russian already. So if you like my videos, please give a thumb up and share with your friends. If you have some questions about my experience in Russia, or you want to share your experience with me, please leave the comments down there, and hopefully I will see you next week again. Bye bye. Спасибо.